We're going to, through 2 weeks of practice or 2.5 weeks, we're kind of I would say a work in progress right now. We return 11 points and 3 rebounds. The guy to my left's the only guy that played more than 10 minutes. He is playing 40 minutes a game this year. I'm informing him of that right now because he's going to have to. We had a big loss this summer with Gio going down and being out for the year. And what we're going to have to do is have a bunch of guys that haven't played at this level before step up. We have a lot of injuries. Evan Smith's out for 6 to 8 weeks with a shoulder, and Curtis Washington's out for the year. Guys that we were counting on giving us, some minutes off the bench are not there. So, we're in a rotation probably of 8 or 9 guys. Dwayne Devon's had a cast on his hand the entire time, but hasn't missed a down, and is playing his tail off every single day. So we're a team that's going to play hard. We're going to guard you. I mean, that's going to happen no matter what. We're going to be good defensively. We're going to play hard, and we're going to get better as it goes along. But we're going to be depending on a lot of inexperienced players to play a great non-conference schedule and then try to compete in a great league.
Go ahead and take questions. Right here in the center, in the 4th row.
Kevin, obviously we will talk about the Trojans, but I can't help but just ask you, Mike Montgomery just kind of dropped a little bombshell about his surgery and his medical condition. Just wondering your reaction. That's a pretty serious diagnosis he was dealing with.
Well, obviously, everybody's prayers are with, Mike. Not a more respected coach in the whole country. Not a guy that's done a better job at different levels, different places in the whole country. And, obviously a guy that's, a Hall of Fame guy in my mind. I have great respect for Mike, and, I actually like him too. He's hard to like, but I actually like him. When I was doing his surgery, he's cracking jokes the entire time. So I know it came out well as I took care of him. But it's, on a serious note, it's great to see him healthy. And he's got a good team. He's a great coach, and they're going to be a handful to deal with.
Down here, Kevin on the back. Okay, right here. Front row, right in the center.
Nick Hamilton. Coach O'Neal, just want to get your thoughts on what is the type of attitude that you're seeing in your 8 or 9 players that are currently practicing?
We have as hard a playing group as I've had. They're young. We have big guys that have great motors. We have a guy to my left that, is taking his game to a new level. So, I really, really like how hard we're playing, how hard we're competing, and how hard we're trying to get better. And now we're having our good days and our bad days. Sometimes we look really good, and some days we stink. And that's going to be like that for a little bit with all this inexperience. We're going to have to figure out where to go for points. It's hard to tell if Dwayne's able to do that yet because he's had a cast on his hand. I told Mo last night on the phone, I called him, I said, here's the deal. We need you to go back to in high school, playing like you when you were in high school, when you averaged 30 and 10, and be an attack guy all the time. So if we can find somebody else to run some offense through, I know we'll be good defensively, we'll rebound the ball and all that. I think we have a chance to improve daily as we go forward.
Question on the left-hand side over here.
I count about 8 or so transfers on the roster. Is that part of your recruiting strategy to help bring that instant experience in with those guys?
Well, we had no choice. We lost 2 full recruiting classes. And, we could have gone out and taken a tremendous amount of freshmen one year. And, so if you take 7 freshmen, probably 5 of them aren't going to work out or 4 aren't going to work out. So we decided to bring in some guys by JUCO and by straight transfers. They could give us some guys that had at least a little age on them this year when we knew we were losing our whole team from last year. So that was part of our plan going forward. And, we've mixed in some high school guys also. Mo's one of those. But we really had no choice because if we let ourselves sit there with 2 blank recruiting classes, if we didn't have these transfers in the junior and senior class or the sophomore and junior classes, we wouldn't have a team this year. So that was by necessity. And going forward, we'll still take some transfers or some junior college guys or whatever, but we'll also recruit some high school kids.
We'll move into the center of the room in the back.
Coach O'Neal, what do you plan to do to replace Fontaine off his ACL injury?
We're not going to be able to replace him. He was our point guard. He was our leader, leading returning scorer, a guy that had 30 and 29 in 2 games against pro teams in Brazil before he got hurt, and a guy that really made us go. We don't have a second ball handler now. Mo's going to, be the guy running the point, and we're going to depend on some freshmen, like Barton Wesley and, Alexis Moore, Garrett Jackson, some of those other guys to really put us in a position where they're going to have to contribute also. But when we had 2 ball handlers, Gio and Mo, I thought we had a chance to be a really fine team. But we won't be able to replace him. You just don't lose a guy like that when you're, in the throes of, starting over with everybody graduating last year. So we're going to feel that. We've had to change our style of play a little bit from what we wanted to do. But, it's incumbent on some other guys to step up and do their job.
Second row on the right.
For both Kevin and Mo, can you talk about the new recruiting rules? And Mo, would you want to receive more text messages from recruiters? And Kevin, what do you think of what they've decided to do?
Go ahead, Mo.
Me personally, it really wouldn't bother me to get more text messages or calls from a coach because my recruiting in high school wasn't that big of a deal. So it probably maybe make it better for me. So it really wouldn't matter.
I'm in favor of deregulation. I think the less rules we have, the better. I've never understood why you couldn't text a recruit anyway. I think that's ridiculous. I think they don't have to pick up their phone if they don't want to. There's some people that call me. I look at my phone like, I'm not picking that up. No way. So I think you'll see a lot of that. They all have an opportunity to do that. But it might cut down on some transfers. You could get to know these guys a little bit better and spend some time with them on the phone. Or you might find out, I don't want to recruit this guy at all. He's a moron. I don't want to deal with him. So I'm for the deregulation and the opportunity to get to know these guys better. I think the less rules we have, really, the better off we are.
Right here in the second row in the center.
Seth Rubinoy, Daily Trojan. Last year, Coach, you had the luxury of having Marcus Simmons, the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year, to guard the opponent's best player.
Right.
This year, who do you see stepping up as the defensive stopper?
We don't have anybody in that role right now. I think somebody's got to evolve into that. I don't know who it's going to be. It might be Mo. It might be Alexis Moore. It might be Barton. I don't know. But, Marcus is a guy that didn't play much his first 3 years at all and then became a defensive stopper in his 4th year. No matter who you had on your team, you could not match what that guy could do defensively. There's no way. And so we will miss that big time because he was a guy that locked people down. On the other hand, we hope that our bigs are better defensively and our team defense is better to make up for the lack of having a real shutdown, lockdown guy because it's really hard to do as a freshman or even as a sophomore, I think.
Maurice, LT Wilson with TG Sports.
Front row.
Right here. Now that you're going to be put into the leadership role, how do you visualize yourself as being a leader for your team now?
I just got to be more vocal. Last year was my freshman year. I was just kind of getting my feet wet. This year, KO told me to be more aggressive, but still keep that point guard mentality in mind. I still got to create for my teammates. It's going to be a long season. We got a lot of unexperienced guys. It's going to be some ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I think we're going to be all right as a team.
In the back row in the center.
KO, you said earlier this October that if Mo got hurt, you'd be under a bus or being hit by a bus. Can you kind of expand more on that?
If Mo gets hurt, we can't even really play the games. If you think about it, we'd then be starting at least 2 freshmen. One would be a point guard, and that's kind of a recipe for disaster, starting a freshman point guard. What I was trying to do is give you an idea how important I think he is to our team. And, for me, it's a process right now trying to get Mo, and this is something I've told him, which, I wouldn't say it if I hadn't already told him. I need him to do more all the time. And because of the makeup of our team, he has to be in attack mode all the time. He's got to be a great defender. He's got to be prepared to play 40 minutes a game. He's got to lead. And that's a hard thing to do as a guy that's just starting his sophomore year. But his impact on our team, especially with Gio out, is an unbelievable. I mean, if he's in trouble and gets hurt, we're in real trouble. Don't come to the games. It'll be ugly. Don't show up. Because if we don't have this guy, it would be very difficult for us to be competitive in major college games.
Any further questions? Hearing none? Oh,
Thank
one
you.
more. Wait, we got one more. Hold on.
Okay.
Sit tight. We got one more, right in the center. I know you want to get away, Kevin.
No, I love it down here. I live 2 blocks away.
Mo, can you tell us your reaction sitting there hearing him say that? Do you feel like you have to be a little bit more careful not to trip down some stairs while you're walking to class or things like that?
Yeah. KO been telling me that a lot. I kind of been twisting my ankle. I twisted my ankle like 3 times in the last 3 weeks. So I just got to be more careful, try not to get hurt and things like that, but still in practice play hard and do things like that. And I don't really try to take it lightly. I still got to give 100% while I'm out there.
What we've done is we told him quit going to class so he doesn't get hurt.
All right, that'll do it. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.